I think it was very timely in that we were able to pass on a lot of practical and technical advice to practitioners both in industry and in private practice. And it seems that withholding tax and double tax agreements are something that trigger a lot of response from the audience in terms of questions. At the basic level, they have to be aware of the scope of Malaysian withholding tax. The scope is quite large. Having been aware of it, they then need to apply that knowledge. And in order to apply that knowledge properly, they really must understand the nature of the income flows that they're looking at. It's only by understanding what they really are paying the money for that they can determine which category, if any, of withholding tax is applicable, and then apply the rules and then consider the interaction with double taxation agreements. If withholding tax is not dealt with properly, the impact can be quite drastic. In a sense, there'll be penalties for late payment, and if the company has been paying the non-resident gross, then the Inland Revenue will want to recover that tax as well. So essentially the impact is the lost tax plus the penalties that the revenue will impose. There's plenty of scope for the Inland Revenue to issue more guidelines and public rulings in relation to withholding tax. I mean, certainly e-commerce is one of the things that comes to mind. I mean, in terms of scope for actually changing the withholding tax, changing its reach, I think the system in Malaysia is fairly comprehensive as is. So I don't think there's an awful lot that can be added. I mean, one of the withholding taxes that Malaysia doesn't have is dividend withholding tax. But if you take a step back, you'll recall that in Malaysia, the general system that the country is moving towards is that dividends are exempt from tax. And therefore, if dividends are exempt, it wouldn't make sense to have a withholding tax on exempt income.
I'm quite fresh or new in this product. I just bought this product about a month ago. So I have 1 or 2 times of experience in using the product. I do encounter some difficulty in finding the information that I want, but of course through the help of the helpful salesperson here, they actually managed to find the information for me, and they also teach me how to use it. So I guess through times I can learn the proper way of retrieving the information properly, and I probably can use the product more efficiently in the future. But I found that at this juncture, I found that the product is quite good, because it's quite fast when I retrieve the information, and it's quite complete. Yeah, so it's just that maybe in the future I need to learn more on how to filter better so that we can get the information I want. Yeah, because I mean, for us we're a multinational company, so we have import, we have exports. We don't really have much of exports, but we do have a lot of imports, and we do purchase a lot of things from overseas. Sometimes the services and all this. So therefore, for us is we need to filter. What are the products what are the services that is subject to withholding tax, and which are the country that is subject to withholding tax? So for us, since I'm also in charge of the payments, I will need to filter whatever invoices are coming to me which is subject to withholding tax. So for us to understand about the withholding tax and treaty, it's important for us to update ourselves, because for tax, it's no way that you can stop learning, and the only way for you to learn is keep upgrading yourself and then update yourself the latest developments. And this product, in a way, because it's internet based, you can read it anytime you want, so it becomes very convenient for us. We can do it during office hour, which is when you have free time, or you can actually do it when you're at home, when you have free time to read out. And I think it's very helpful. Yes,
this online service is very informative, very up to date. As I mentioned just now, we are very much day-to-day use this WST. We need the updates. We need to make sure comply with the WST, and this online service is very useful. Sometimes the actual transaction not exactly follow the book and do not have any guideline, or even the public ruling given by RB also does not really fit to the cases that we handle. So with this WST online service, all the examples that are given to us, it does help for us to make the judgment. A lot of updates every day and there, especially effective this year. we are adopting FRS, and some are also effective in July. And a lot of useful examples, again, quite helpful to our companies.
We get questions from our the account side relating to our affiliates invoices as well as third-party vendors, whether withholding tax are applicable. So we need to provide guidance to them, and for us to do that, we normally has to refer to manuals or go online, you see. So when this CCH came up with this, we say, okay, I think I should come and attend so that I need maybe be able to get some guidance from this seminar or even from the others industries that are here, because there's a lot of gray areas in the legislation. See, we may interpret it in one way, and then when we are not sure, when we go back to the technical side, they may give you, different officers will give you different opinion, their view are different. So hopefully from here I can get more information to clear some of the gray areas. Occasionally, like if we have something that we are not very clear, we will go to, we even have your CCH manual. We will go into that manual to look for the areas that we need clarification. Even on tax cases, we also go to those manuals, because we are not only looking at Malaysian tax cases, we also look at cases overseas and see whether they can be used to defend or, give us the guidance on whether what we are treating, how we treat an issue is applicable or not. But I believe it should be able to give us a lot of guidance.
When we make payment, the withholding tax is involved. So I've came across a few issues, so I would like to know more about it. So that's why currently I'm here actually. Basically, I refer back to my accountant and my head of department for it. So to make quick decisions, I feel that I should know more about it and make my own decision. So that's the reason I have to know more about tax on withholding tax. I get a lot of information on CCH, especially the brochures and pamphlets, so I intend to, in the long run, I intend to, as I progress, I intend to subscribe, some of your subscriptions.
We've been receiving lots of inquiries from Austrian companies recently on the subject of withholding tax, and it is very beneficial to us to find out more about it so we can answer correctly.
Basically, I just want to know something extra on the withholding tax. I just know on the basic things on the withholding tax, how it's been treated. So I came here, it's just that I want to know if I left something outside my knowledge or something like that, something new that came out, and I think that's the reason why I'm here. Basically, withholding tax is a very difficult subject for me, I think. And that's why we have an external party, our tax consultant, to handle that. So, but we don't want to just let it go for all the tax agent to handle it. So at least we have something information that we can share with the tax agent, or otherwise they told us that something that we are aware of. It's quite useful. Basically it's a summary of all the tax treaties and everything. Basically, what I would say that we think we need to know further on that. I think all these things we can easily get from the internet or the reference or something like that. So if you can get something maybe extra and then give some example on the difficulties of the tax treatment or something like that. Yeah, but I think overall is for basic person to know what's a withholding tax. I think that's a good concept there. It's a good thing to introduce something online so that we are not relying on the hard copies, and then we can just bring it over to one place to another. It's a good reference.
Our company business has engaged a lot of foreign consultants, so we have actually open challenges in this area. That's why I came here today to understand more about withholding tax. Yeah, actually that's why we are learning as we go, because a lot of times when the consultants I engage are determined by the directors, so finance do not come into the picture. So when the agreements is done, is kind of vague, and it does not determine whether the work is done in Malaysia or back in their home country. That's why today's presentation has actually made us realize that it's very important from the source document, the correct activities is detailed out as specific as possible. I've actually bought a couple of books from CCH which have relied mostly on tax. Actually, we're exploring whether to take on the online withholding tax, which would help us in our day-to-day activities.
To further understand the compliance and the correctability of the withholding tax, as we are the MNC and a lot of the foreign transactions as well. We are liaised with a lot of the transactions involved in worldwide. That's why withholding tax is something that really concern by our companies, that we want to have a correct practice as to minimize any penalties or even treaties of the withholding tax issue. That as well, we understand that in next year we're going to have the very well all the more on the withholding tax issues is going to pop up. So this kind of events actually exposes or giving us a chance to further understand that what actually happened by the issues faced by other industry on the same topics of withholding tax. First of all, the updates on the DTA, as well we have some things on the invading commissions that is not really mentioned clearly in the categories that we're having in the template, like for example dividends or royalty, or even is any others incomes derived. So probably I will need advice from our speakers, Nick, advice on the what actually we should categorize that particular transactions, the categories, and determine the rate. By looking at the demonstration just now, I have the opinions that the informations and the topic cover under the CCH website is looks like a lot of topics is there. So basically just a glance on it, I feel that some of the topics we should need by the company.